You want to know how you probably have arguably the funniest thing you're going to see in anime in many years to come? It's funny when you laugh out loud, you're like, okay, this is really impressing me. It's the fact that 15 minutes after an episode's over, that entirety of said 15 minutes, you're still giggling to yourself about what you just saw. They basically pulled an Evangelion in this episode. Anyone who saw the elevator scene in the original anime, you know how awkward it is? They just stand in silence for God knows how long, and it just makes the whole thing so uncomfy. That scene when my boy gets killed, and he just sits there in silence as this goddess is like, just staring in disbelief. I thought that would be the peak comedy for me because it was just so awkwardly hilarious. But over the course of this episode, when Freaky Friday decided to drop the sequel early, the princess and Cosmo switching bodies, I can think of a lot of ways that could be funny. But it's the fact that we go from both of them are happy about it. The princess is like, I'm a hero, I get to go be in a hero's body. Excellent. Cosmo, the dude's born to be a rich douchebag. Like, 100%. And while they definitely play with fan service as much as you would expect, given what he's able to accomplish in said body, to see this poor little princess get her face not beaten, but disfigured in Cosmo's body as my boy reaches the promised land in terms of bathing. Oh, I have tears of joy. I said it last week, man. Funniest that it is so good. And all I keep hearing is that the light novel that the movie adapted and the light novel that season 3 is adapting is considered by many to be the peak of KonoSuba. And I can already safely agree. I, for the longest time, like for many years after season 1 finished of KonoSuba, I considered that to be the funniest anime I've ever seen. And over time, certain anime have overtook that. But I'm going to say, with what I've already seen of Season 3, I truly believe Season 3 of KonoSuba is twice as funny as anything in Season 1. And this comes from a Season 1 enthusiast. I think that is one of the funniest things you can watch in anime. It is one of my most replayed anime seasons ever. But Season 3 is knocking it out of the park. They can't keep getting away with this, though. Because if they do, I swear to God, I'm going to have a heart attack from just the comedy breaking me. But this was 100 out of 10. Full live reactions, you won't see my full gut thoughts to this insanity of KonoSuba. It's gonna be over there if you're interested. Oh my goodness. I knew he wasn't gonna succeed. Like, this is how you know this is a funny episode. The first 5 minutes of Cosmo getting bodied in the entirety of his party working together, everyone but Cosmo seemingly did okay. Cosmo got killed right away after his big epic. Everyone's cheering him. Yeah, I know what he did. He did this. He did this. He's not supposed to go out there and then cut to this scene and he's just dead with the goddess. And Eris is like, yeah, okay, I got a mission for you. Go collect all of these divine artifacts, these holy treasures, which we know about because Chris was, stole one of them, the magic hammer. And I mean, I talked about it last week. I never really thought of it because I never, think of what Chris or Eris look like character design because they're seen so like infrequently. But after this episode, 100%, she got embarrassed that you one of my followers got fondled by you, and it's like, no, she's upset by her. And I mean, Aqua always did say that Eris pats her chest, so it all lines up, especially if the face didn't give it away. But it's funny because one of the artifacts is like a Freaky Friday thing, which obviously comes in clutch at the end. But it's funny just because the whole awkwardness of like literally the prior episode, Cosmo feeling her up and then just being like, okay, he's here already, and then Cosmo having to realize that all of his dirty little secrets are actually exposed, and he has to deal with that shame. But it's funny because when he comes back, Megami is being cheered as like the great slayer because her basically they're happy because every time they go up against these fools, they're talking about how like, we're gonna come back, just mockery. And Megami canceled the cutscene and blew them apart before they could. Darkness just was running into Pleasure Town, and she basically looks like a hero. And Aqua just got drunk, to be honest. I mean, she's about as Aqua as you could get. But that should be like the tip of the mountain, the top, the finish line, because it's all so funny. It's like, that's KonoSuba through and through. And then Freaky Friday happens. And Freaky Friday was fantastic. Now, Cosmo keeps it a little sus as he does, talking about how, hey, like, you're at that age, but don't play with my body. And I'm like, my boy, shut your mouth. But the idea that she goes off to be an adventurer, he goes off to be a dick. And just the fact that both of their VAs... So Cosmo's voice, while he's possessed, it still kind of sounds like Cosmo, but it's very much like a more feminine take on Cosmo's voice. The princess was a complete... Like, it was like the older sister of the princess. I love how their VAs were so different. It was just so good for what they accomplished. You have her getting beat up in an alleyway, which I just felt bad, because this princess is innocent. She's so wholesome and cute, and we just corrupt her. Time and time again. And then for Cosmo, he's walking and he's just being a smug royal bastard. He almost killed this poor bastard. He almost sentenced him to death because of a head pat. But the bathing scene was about what you expected. To be honest, I thought he was going to expose himself, but the only ones who were exposing themselves were Darkness and this woman, because this woman, she has questionable behavior because she was stripping down real quick when she realized what was happening. And my boy was just like, you know what? I don't care anymore. If I get caught, I get caught. This is a one-time opportunity, and can't keep getting away with this. It's just so good. It's like literally, the more I think of this episode, the funnier it is to me. I love KonoSuba. The characters are so out of pocket, but it's the fact that they still managed to sneak in some Megami progression as well. Like, she's just talking about how, like, as much as it's nice to be in these types of situations, it's best when it's just the four of us. Like, they actually do keep the characterization there, because at the end of the day, all four of them are absolute idiots. Though, as I also have been saying, it's surprising, but Darkness is the most mature one out of the group anymore, and, you know, at the end of the day, she may be kinky, but at least she knows how to be an adult when it comes to serious situations. But, remove her from the capital and she's probably going to be back to peak degeneracy before too long. I don't know, it's like, when you really take a look at this episode and the past couple of episodes, it's you have to wonder yourself, how can you top it? How can you possibly top what we've seen? But in KonoSuba Do I Trust, the faces that I see these characters make are so good. The characters that I see in the background, the faces they make, are oh so good. But it's the fact that the first 5 minutes of this episode is enough to be peak comedy. They could have just kept rolling with stuff like that. The whole battle and them failing. And instead, they sideswipe you and say, nah. The actual true comedy all-star is going to be when Freaky Friday happens. And Freaky Friday 2 did not disappoint. Let me know what you thought. Especially your favorite gag of the episode. For me, I do think it's that moment of silence and disbelief when he's dead. But I don't know, man. Like, Cosmo's face getting destroyed as the princess is inside him is just like... I don't know, that might be a close second. But let me know your feelings down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and of course ring that bell. And like I mentioned, I got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we have EB, Adam Johnson, Gummy, XEXE, Flicklat, Kyle Tober, and we also have Kalen. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.